Andre Rison was one of the most dynamic receivers in the NFL during the 1990s, but despite his elite ability, he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. On today's episode of the most forgotten players in sports history, we examine the career of Andre Rison.
And the duck walk follows Andre Rison.
The thing with me is you got to throw it to me. I'm always open.
Open, touchdown, Rison.
I knew I was special. I knew I had a special gift. And it's just called being a beast.
What time is it? Showtime, prime time. Okay.
Born on March 18, 1967 in Flint, Michigan, Andre Rison faced great hardship as he moved 15 times during his childhood and lost his stepfather in 5th grade. But despite these significant challenges, he became an all-world athlete at Flint Northwestern High School, where he excelled at football, basketball, and track and field, and he would play with future NBA All-Star Glenn Rice and lead the Wildcats to consecutive state championships in basketball and became one of the top high school athletes in the state of Michigan. And after his stellar high school career, he attended Michigan State University, where he continued to play football and basketball. But during this time, he decided to turn his attention exclusively to football, and this move paid off tremendously as he became one of the greatest receivers in Michigan State history, catching 134 passes for 2,629 yards and 17 touchdowns, leading the Spartans to the 1988 Rose Bowl and becoming one of the best receivers in college football. And after his amazing collegiate career, he was drafted in the first round of the 1989 draft by the Indianapolis Colts, and he made an immediate impact as a rookie, catching 52 passes for 820 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he was named to the all-rookie team, and it appeared he would be a star for the Colts for years to come. But after the conclusion of his rookie season, they traded him to the Atlanta Falcons, and during this time, he established himself as one of the best receivers in the NFL, as from 1990 to 1994, he made 4 Pro Bowl teams. He was a 4-time All-Pro. He caught 423 passes for 5,633 yards and 56 touchdowns. And he marveled fans with his incredible speed, athleticism, catching ability, and route running. Some people even said he was more talented than Jerry Rice because he had better speed and athleticism than Jerry Rice. And his numbers were very comparable to Jerry Rice and Sterling Sharpe, two of the best receivers of the 1990s, and he became a star for the Atlanta Falcons. He formed a close relationship with their other star player, Deion Sanders, and it appeared that he would be with the Falcons for the long term. But unfortunately, after the conclusion of the 1994 season, the Atlanta Falcons opted to let him walk in free agency, and he would sign a lucrative contract with the Cleveland Browns as he signed a 5-year, $17 million contract. But unfortunately, his tenure with the Browns was short-lived as he only spent 1 year there, and it was filled with controversy as he had career lows in catches, yards, and touchdowns. And after his tenure with the Browns, he was signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars in 1996, but unfortunately, like his time with the Browns, his time with the Jaguars was very short-lived as he was cut midway through the season after only catching 34 passes for 458 yards and 3 touchdowns. But after 2 disappointing seasons, he would have a career resurgence as the Green Bay Packers would claim him off waivers during the 1996 season. And this is when he reminded people the player that he was, as he would have a tremendous impact for the Packers, catching 13 passes for 135 yards and a touchdown in the 5 games he played with them. But then during the playoffs, particularly in the Super Bowl, he caught 7 passes for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns, leading the Green Bay Packers to a 35-24 victory over the New England Patriots. And everyone was reminded of how great Andre Rison was. And after his successful season with the Packers, he signed with the Kansas City Chiefs in 1997, where he had a great year catching 72 passes for 1,092 yards and 7 touchdowns, making his 5th Pro Bowl team and reestablishing himself as one of the best receivers in the NFL. And just like that, Andre Rison had a career resurgence And this was amazing to see because he had so much success earlier in his career as he was one of the most dominant receivers in the NFL, but he had a couple of difficult years with the Browns and Jaguars, and a lot of people really doubted his ability. They didn't know if he would ever be one of the best receivers in the NFL again, but he absolutely proved to everyone that he was still an elite receiver in the NFL. But he also proved that he was a better man than a lot of people had given him credit for, because throughout his career he carried this reputation of being a bad man, of being a bad teammate, and that was further from the truth, because when you listen to his former teammates, they rave about the type of man, the type of teammate that he was always cracking jokes. He was, just very silly, had this very bright and bubbly personality, and that they really enjoyed playing with him. But I think the reason he had the perception of being a bad person is because of his well-documented relationship to the late great Lisa Left Eye Loos. And we know they had some issues in their relationship. I think a lot of people, particularly the media, thought that because of the issues he had in his relationship, that meant he was a bad person, he was a bad man, and he was a bad teammate. But during his tenure with the Chiefs, he not only proved that he was still an elite receiver, but he also proved that he was a great person, he was a great human being, as he did a lot of community work, charity work in Kansas City during his tenure there, and just really regained the trust of not only the media but also the NFL as a whole, that not only am I still a great player, but I am indeed a great man. So his tenure with the Chiefs was incredibly successful. He would spend 2 more seasons there, and during this time he would change his nickname from Bad Moon to Spider-Man. And this was amazing because every time he scored a touchdown, he always acted like he was shooting out darts, shooting out spider webs. So again, his tenure with the Chiefs was incredibly successful. But then in 2000 he signed with their arch rivals, the Oakland Raiders, where he would have a good year, catching 41 passes for 606 yards and 6 touchdowns. But after the conclusion of the 2000 season, he decided to retire, and just like that, the great career of Andre Rison was over. And so in 12 years he made 5 Pro Bowl teams, he was a 4-time All-Pro, and he caught 743 passes for 10,205 yards and 84 touchdowns. And y'all, I absolutely believe that Andre Rison is one of the most underrated receivers, probably one of the most underrated players in NFL history, because a lot of people just really do not give him the credit he deserves. I mean, he was so dominant, y'all, in the 90s. Again, his numbers were very comparable to Sterling Sharpe and Jerry Rice. I think Jerry Rice is the best receiver ever, and Sterling Sharpe was one of the best receivers in the 1990s, but you rarely hear people mention Andre Rison, y'all, with those guys. And again, I just think a lot of it goes to the perception that was surrounding him about him supposedly being this bad guy and bad teammate, even though that was untrue, y'all. But when you look at his accolades, you look at his career statistics, Andre Rison absolutely was a dominant receiver, one of the best receivers we've ever seen. And I believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, y'all, because to me his numbers are very comparable to a guy that's in the Hall of Fame, and Michael Irvin. I mean, Michael Irvin has a little over 11,000 yards and 74 touchdowns. Andre Rison has a little over 10,000 yards and 84 touchdowns, and they both made 5 Pro Bowls, y'all. So if Michael Irvin's in the Hall of Fame, I know Michael Irvin won 3 championships, but if he's in the Hall of Fame, then I absolutely believe Andre Rison should be in the Hall of Fame, y'all, because he was just an incredible player, one of the most dominant and best receivers of the 1990s and of NFL history. And I absolutely believe, y'all, he should get more credit he deserves for his great contributions to the game. So Andre Rison, thank you for everything you did, my brother, and I wish you continued success the rest of your life. So there you have it, man. This was the first video of my new series of examining the most forgotten players in sports history, and today we examine the great career of Andre Rison, man. If y'all like this new series I've started, please leave a comment in the comment box below. Remember, y'all, last good message. So what? Make sure you get your daily dose. I'm an intimate. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.